But that's why we here today. Because I be seeing you, and I'm like, I want your voice to be amplified. So again, I'm kind of going to go from the direction of. Let me put this here. Dang. So I'm going to be going from the direction of kind of getting to know you first. Then I'm going to show you some things I think where I can add value to what you're doing right now. At the same time,
Okay.
some things I'm looking to also, also mutually benefit from as well, because we're kind of in the same space where I'm really actually big on more so freelancing and entrepreneurship. And I love talking about finances, but the way you're speaking it is from a different angle than I'm not coming at. I'm coming honestly. My background story is that I'm from New Orleans. I'm very used to poverty. And when I was looking for answers, like, why can't we go into a restaurant as a family? And how do we get there? How do we get the accumulation of funds to, enjoy, have a good time? My family only knew the struggle.
Hmm.
Like, how do we get to that next where we can have family outings, family trips, all this stuff? And I've been wanting to find answers like that. So I got the small things like credit repair, how to start a business. Like, honestly, starting a business was not an answer for a lot of people in my family. These small questions, how to leverage credit. I think I'm on a small scale. Like, I think I'm respectfully successful in my own way. But where you're talking about mutual NDAs and I forget the other topics you're talking about, you're talking on a way higher level. And I'm like, yo, I need to tap in with Brittany, because where she's at, I think I have some things I can bring to you as when it comes to the marketing side, when it comes to monetizing, building an audience, tech and stuff like that. I think we could really align there. So I'm super excited. So I wanted to first start by asking a little bit more about your background. I know we follow each other on Facebook.
Hmm.
I'm assuming we went to A&T. You went to A&T because I see we have a lot of mutual friends
I
there.
did. I did.
I'm an Aggie here today, just in case you said
Oh,
yes.
I didn't even see it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
loved it.
we're here.
Okay. Okay. So
Did
it all makes sense now. I hate that I only went for a year. I feel like leaving there and coming
oh,
back here in Chicago was one of the biggest mistakes of life, but that year was probably the best year of my life.
did you go freshman year or yeah
I
freshman year?
did. It was my freshman year, and I got homesick. Every weekend, all of my friends was going home because they lived in North Carolina, and I was out there by myself. And I was like, I miss home. I want to go back home.
I wonder if we met freshman year then. I don't know. Crazy. I played football at North Carolina A&T. So,
Okay.
what did you major?
And finance.
Finance. Yeah, I pulled up your LinkedIn. Have your LinkedIn up here, and yeah, so I see you have like honestly, you did a lot outside of school. So like 2014 is probably when I graduated. So you took that year off, and then it seems like you started as a loan officer, and then you kind of went down that route.
Yes. So I left school early. So I came back here. I did like another 2, 3 years of school. I left before it was time to graduate, and I just dove deep into my career. I always said that I would go back, and it unfortunately just never happened. But I realized how much I enjoyed specialized learning, which was I'm such a certification junkie. The things that I'm passionate about, I can deep dive into all day long. But the construct of like traditional schooling didn't work for me, didn't work well for me. So I did the about a year as a loan officer because I just wanted to get into finance in some type of way. I knew I always wanted to work in finance, but I knew that wasn't the angle. I loved investments. I loved the concept of helping people put their money to work for them, money growing, money working while you're sleeping so you don't have to work as hard. So I one day randomly applied to a job at Bank of America. I seen that they were hiring for an entry level position where you can get your licenses, your Series 766 license to trade investments, to help people manage their wealth. And I said, what the hell? Might as well give it a shot. I know that I don't have a degree. I don't have much of a background into this, but you never know. Let's just see what happens. And went on the interview. I remember walking in that office and being like, man, don't nobody in here look like me. This might be a little, maybe I might be slightly outside of my league, but I'm like, you got to kill this damn interview. Like, you got to do what needs to be done. Anyway, I ended up getting a call that day about getting a job. I was so excited. And then everything just took off from there.
That's so amazing. By the way, I'm gonna let you know right now. I only did one interview like this before, and it was probably like 4 years ago. And do you know this guy named Wall Street Trapper?
I do.
I think he had like 1,000 or 2,000 followers. He's my.
Wow.
I could pull up on YouTube. He was my first person I did like this, and the same way I saw in him, I seen you, and I hear it already. His story is more
That's
coming from like,
crazy.
yeah, his story is more coming from like the jail and the hood mentality.
Hmm.
Your story, I'm seeing the connection. So I'm betting on this, and I'm pretty good at this. So what was the first thing that sparked you? Like, so why did you get into, like, I told you my story. I come from New Orleans, where we know the system. We know how to get the food stamps. We know how to finesse the
Hmm.
system. Well, they did. I didn't know how to do it. But that was my spark, and that's my drive. What
Right.
got you into like making your money work for you, and that kind of mindset?
So here's the thing. So I grew up in Chicago my entire life, inner city. So I'm sure that we have very similar upbringings as far as my family was not rich. We didn't have a bunch of money. But I got lucky in a sense, and I was able to go to a school that was so black and rich. Like everyone that went to this school came out some type of revolutionary, came out some type of like, I want to do something to advance my people. Like the school was top tier, best school that I believe it exists in the inner city of Chicago. They took us on a field trip one day downtown to the stock exchange. Now, I don't think any other inner city schools in Chicago was doing this. I remember looking at them tickers and seeing all them numbers going and realize that as these numbers are moving, there are people that are getting rich while doing nothing. They're not working for this. All of these numbers are moving. There are people getting rich. It sparked it instantly. I have to know what this is. I was always good at math, always good with numbers. That was always my thing. But seeing that was like, yeah, this is my thing. And I was probably in fourth or fifth grade at that time. Didn't even know what the stock market was, but I knew this is something I got to get into.
Really? So it started way back then. Okay.
Yes.
So like, what kind of like mindset? Like, what are your thoughts on money? So like, you know, is an abstract question. When someone says money, what does that mean to you? Like, what? Yeah, what does that mean to you? What is money?
Money means a conduit to freedom. Um, I don't think it equates directly to freedom, but it is a path and an avenue to getting there. I am someone who is very anti-capitalist in a way. However, I am very aware of the world that we're living in, right? I'm very aware of reality and money makes the world go round. And so if you want to get to a path of true freedom and being able to live this thing on your terms and how you want to do it, you got to be able to make money and not be able to make money that always requires you to work for it because we only have a certain amount of time. And so if every penny that you make is tied to time, is tied to every minute that you work, it's only so much money that you'll be able to be able to make. To be able to look at money as something that can come to you from many different avenues outside of work, from your talents, your skills, from your brains, the things that your thoughts can produce, using that to get to a certain level of freedom.
I rock with that. When it comes to your like the people you look at when it comes like the pillars of money or perspectives, we have Warren Buffett, Dave Ramsey, Robert Kiyosaki.
Mhm.
Out of those three people, who do you think you gravitate more towards?
That's a good question. Okay, so I remember being in college. I took some classes and they used Dave Ramsey a lot as like just a pillar for financial education. To be completely honest with you, I don't really think that I gravitate to any of them, and no disrespect to them, but I think that my ideologies on acquiring wealth are very different from what I've seen, from what I've heard, from what I've been taught. A lot of people will talk about saving and investing and all of these other ways to acquire money and get to wealth, and while I think all of those things are important, my main foundation of wealth and money right now is skills, is getting your mind to operate on a certain type of level to where you are producing ideas in your sleep that are going to be able to make you money. And so I don't hear that foundation often of getting real good at something. Yes, we can learn the stock market. I'm a huge fan of the stock market. I used to be an investment advisor, but the stock market can crash tomorrow. And not only can it can crash and not rebound. We can have a completely new reconstructing of the stock market and then what? and then we'll be reliant on our skills to make money.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe in the best financial principles involve getting better every day and elevating your mind to a certain level.
Got you. So like I had a fourth person. I didn't put him on there because they're pretty new. Alex Hormozy, and it's kind of when he's actually into also leveraging your skills to build. I guess who do you see as a mentor or do you look up to that speaks this type of talk and language, or do you?
There are a couple people that okay. I really enjoy Earn Your Leisure.
Mm,
So Ian, Rashad, Troy, I really enjoy them because they have greatly modernized financial literacy for us. And then combining the whole element of entertainment, it has made it something that is not daunting to our generation of people. So I like how they have put their element, their spin on financial literacy. I admire that. I love that. Ashley Kirkwood is someone else that I absolutely love. And although she may not speak particularly on financial literacy all the time, she's always talking about enhancing and elevating your skills and the way that she teaches people to do that, to handle business on a very high level. I love that. Um, Robert Smith, he is such an idol of mine because you've probably heard me talk about private equity so much on my stories. I'm a huge private equity junkie. I believe that private equity is going to be the way of the future. That's going to be the next wave of financial million and billionaires that are made. And I know how it's like the way that we hear people talk about how, oh, I wish I had invested in their internet a long time ago. That's how people are going to be talking about private equity 10 years from now. So to come across a Black man that has started and built a successful private equity firm, when that is a concept that is foreign to us, and I'm talking about just even knowing about it, let alone have built a successful one, he's one for me because he realized something in the market a long time ago before it was popularized that our people need to know about and was able to capitalize on it. And I want to really bring that into today's world
I'm trying to look him up
for
right
us,
now.
for our people.
Robert Smith. Robert Smith's financials.
What is the name of his company?
Robert is his name is Robert F. Smith.
Yes,
Okay, I got him. I
I
haven't
can't
heard of
believe
him.
I can't believe I can't think of his company right now. But yeah, private equity firm. Check him out.
Got you. What is a private equity firm? What is private equity?
So, private equity, in very simplistic terms, is a pool of professional business buyers. So, this is a group of people that come together and they pool money together from high net worth individuals, from pension funds, mutual funds, endowment funds. They put together millions, sometimes billions of dollars, and they go out and they buy private companies. So, just the way that we go out into the stock market to buy a stock or a share in a public company, they buy private companies. And their goal is to enhance them, to grow them, to financially engineer them, and then sell them for more than they bought them for.
Got you.
And
Yeah.
so, oh, go
Go ahead.
ahead.
No, go ahead.
And so I love the concept of private equity so much because when you think about the stock market, I can go and I can take $100,000 right now and buy $100,000 worth of Apple stock. I still have no say so in the strategy that Apple implements, right? I am like my money is left up to so many other factors outside of myself on if I get a return or not. But private equity, I can invest in there, and I know we're directly going into this company to be hands on to implement our strategic initiatives to grow this thing to make sure we get a return on investment. So I like that because it is directly reliant on your intellect and what you do with the thing. You're not just throwing money at something passively and hoping that it grows. With private equity, you're actually going into that company and making it grow.
Got you. Is that kind of with also? I think I seen your profile. You do acquisitions. Is
Yes. So very, very, very similar. Mergers and acquisitions is a much broader like category. Private equity is just kind of like one avenue of that. A lot of times public companies will merge and acquire other companies. But that is a huge passion of mine because I believe that on the basis of our economic system lies big corporations. Big corporations are growing vastly through mergers and acquisitions. And this is another thing that our people don't know much about. You can only grow a business so far individually before it's time to combine with someone else in some form or fashion, merge with them, acquire the business outright. It's only so far you can go alone. And so this is why I feel like our business has hit a ceiling because we don't deep dive into M&A the way that we should.
Got you. Have I'm assuming, did you get your first merger acquisition property? Have you built your first private equity or merge? I'm sorry. And by the way, I'm swimming the deep ends here, right? I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm here to learn from you.
You're perfectly fine. Okay, so the past couple of years, I've been working as a corporate advisor, meaning that I've been going into companies and strategically advising them on how to grow and expand or achieve whatever strategic initiatives that they have. I recently just now made the pivot into preparing companies to be sold to private equity firms. So when a private equity firm comes in and buys a company, most times sellers will hear an offer that says, "Oh, I'll come in and I'll buy your company for $10 million." And they're like, "Okay, cool, take it," not knowing that they could have sold that company for 20 million with the proper preparation and optimization of that business. So I'm going to go in a year or two in advance prior to it's time to sell the company to optimize it to make sure that we get top dollar for it. So I have not done this yet. This is something that I have just made kind of a pivot into. So I'm really excited about that. I'm gonna definitely keep you updated and let you know how that first sale goes.
Got you. Kind of remind me. You ever seen the TV show 30 Day Millionaire? I think that's what it's called.
I have not, and my headphones are dying.
Oh no, I know how it is. I be in so many consultations, and I hear the doo-doo-doo-doo, like from the AirPods. Oh yeah, your audio's out. We'll wait.
What about now? Is it back in?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, so it kind of reminded me of the 30 Day I think it's 30 Day Millionaire, where they take like celebrities, like Grant
Mhm.
Cardone, and they'll drop them off in a place of no city. They can't use none of their contacts, none of their funds,
Heard
and
of it.
you heard of it?
I haven't watched it yet, but I've heard of it.
Oh, it's so good. It's so interesting how you build the business models to get a exit evaluation, to get an
Okay.
evaluation.
Yeah.
And you got to have these metric points, like for example, revenue sales, recurring sales, whatever
Oh,
like that.
you've been watching. You've been deep diving into that.
Oh, I'm into the game. Like I said,
Yeah.
I'm over
You're familiar
here.
with
You're over there.
it.
Yeah, so that's so
No,
cool.
what you're saying is perfectly on point, though. The whole purpose of exiting a business is you have to increase your valuation. You want to sell that business for as much as possible. One of the things that private equity firms look for that will make them pay more for a business is recurring revenue streams. They want profitable, not profitable, they want predictable cash flows. They want to know exactly how much this business can generate on a month-to-month basis because many private equity firms are buying businesses with a lot of debt. So they put up a lot of their own equity, but they use a lot of debt. And they got to make sure we can service those debt payments because they're going to be pretty high on a month-to-month basis. So we want predictable cash flows. So yes, that's one of those avenues that people implement to increase their valuation. I'm gonna have to check this show out now.
Yeah,
Sound like they speak my language.
awesome. Yeah, I highly recommend it. And honestly, when you were saying that, I wanted to get back to the reason I was asking that question, Dave Ramsey or Kiyosaki. What are your thoughts between debt? Honestly, I think it's just debt. So like you can use good debt, and I think Dave Ramsey is more of like don't use debt at all. So like there's a guy named Antoine Daniels on YouTube. He's like, I buy my houses cash. I do my investments cash. You don't need that because you're gonna stay slave. You're gonna spend more than you need. Robert Kiyosaki, on the other hand, I'm trillions of dollars of debt, and I'm laughing my way to the bank. Which of the spectrum do you believe in?
Oh my God, that is an amazing question because this is something I feel so passionately about and have never got the opportunity to talk about it. So thank you. Okay, so short answer, it depends on whatever your goals are. For some people, their goal is to make the most financially sound decisions possible.
Hmm.
Sometimes the most financially sound decisions are to take on some debt. For me personally,
My biggest thing in life is freedom. I want to be free. I do not want to be tied down by a bunch of payments. I want to be able to pivot and go in a completely different direction at any point in time I want to in life without being concerned with I have house payments to make. I have car payments to make. I have all of this debt that I need to service. So I don't want to do that. But that's just me. So anything that I can buy in cash, I'm gonna buy in cash because I want to be free. I realized when I quit my job, I made a completely different pivot and I said, I'm about to go into a whole nother world that is going to require me to sit down and learn a completely new field for years. When you got to sit down and learn something for a long time, that may mean you might not be bringing no money in because you sit down and you're sharpening yourself. I went through that period of time and had everything taken from me. I never want to have to go through that again. I want to be 50 years old and say, you know what, forget this business. I want to go back to school for neuroscience and not having to worry about my house and my car and things being in jeopardy. I want to be free. I want to be able to do what I want to do. Now, on the flip side of that, one of the things that I think are missing in the conversation about debt is only good if you are going to take the cash that you could have otherwise spent and put it in something that is going to make you more of a return than the interest you're going to pay on the debt. So I hear people say all the time, I have $500,000. I could buy a house in cash, but it just makes more sense for me to take out a loan because interest rates are only 4%.
Hmm.
Well, why would you give the bank 4% on that money when you have the money in cash, unless you're about to take the $500,000 that you have in cash and go invest in something that is going to generate you greater than a 4% return? For some reason, that one little aspect is like missing, and I don't hear people say that often. So it's like, is that good? Is that bad? It depends, but are you going to use the money that you would have otherwise used? Now, this only is applicable if you actually have the cash. If you don't have the cash and you got to use debt, then of course use the debt. But there are a lot of people who have the cash and they're debating between should I use my cash? Should I use debt? Go with the debt if you're going to strategically invest your cash in a way that is going to give you a better return than the interest you're paying on the debt.
Love that. It's funny. I just had a class with my nieces and nephews. We was talking about that, and one thing we was talking about is we was talking about several things. For example, the savings account versus a high yield savings account, and the interest rates
Mhm.
return difference. Right? I was like, with Bank of America, you're getting 0.01% if you have
Yeah.
over $2,500 in there. That's on the high yield savings account, 4%, well, 3.8% return.
Hmm.
That sparked a new one. Then I talked about. I personally, actually, I'm more on the side of Robert Kiyosaki, where I
Hmm.
love credit. So, like for example, if you're making a purchase that you're going to make regardless, and you save the money up for it, if you have the credit, open up an 18-month financing credit card at 0% interest rate, but have that money sitting in a high yield saving account growing at 4 point whatever percent. That's still building your net worth. Versus what we normally do is take that money and drop it down to, let's say the purchase is $6,000. Take that $6,000, you pay the hotel, your $6,000, your net worth goes down $6,000. You cannot make money off of money that you don't have.
Exactly.
But if you're going to make that trip regardless, if there's PayPal credit, there's different types of credit that allows you to borrow at 0% interest rate. But you can
Hmm.
keep your money over here, whereas you're running in this vehicle. So I'm loving what you're saying. And the way you're speaking on it, like I said, you're over there with it. I'm kind of with you, but you're over there.
No, but hearing you right there on point.
All right, so cool. When it comes to like your goals, well, actually, I'm kind of interested in that story. You said you had everything taken away from you. Is there a
Yeah.
story there? Like, what happened?
Oh, it's a
If
very
you're if
ugly.
you care to share, if you don't want to share, I have
No,
another
it's
question.
perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. I think it's important to share because it's the part of life that makes a lot of people say, I'm not going to pursue my dreams because I don't want to go through the ugly part. And the ugly part can get real, real ugly. However, when you are given a vision for something that you know you have to fulfill, and I know for me, that vision that was given to me sitting in the bank one day was you have to do more to advance your people economically. And unfortunately, it's not going to happen within the walls of this bank. And I said, well, I'm helping people invest. I'm helping my people open up investment accounts and, organize our money and all this stuff. It was like, no, it's going to take more than that. You need to build out something bigger. Um, When I first started to get that call, I had a plan of, okay, well, I'm going to stay at my job at until the end of the year and I'm going to save and I'm going to pay off my debt. I'm going to do all the responsible steps needed to set myself up for when I make that transition and I quit. I said this to myself in April. However, on May 21st of 2021, I remember the day to the T, I sat down at work and everything in my spirit was like, oh, today's your last day here. And I was like, no, I had this plan. We're going to wait to the end of the year. I'm going to save. I'm going to put some money up. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. It was like, nope, you got to leave today, like right now, today. And so after that, going through that process of having to give up everything, um, I realize now how important that is to development as a person. Like, I really feel like if I had quit my job and immediately just all of my dreams came true and I got everything that I wanted, I would not have developed into the person that I am today. This person was created by way of having to sit alone with myself, having to be stripped of everything to where it's like, okay, God, it's nothing but me and you now. What do you want me to know? Who do you want me to be? Who am I? Like all of this stuff that you're showing me, make it make sense to me. Like who am I be coming into? How do I do that? And so I have to just be set down for a while to develop, to learn, to cultivate a certain thing within me because everybody talks about building out an empire. Building out an empire takes so much more than financial resources. Are you the person that you are required to be to successfully run that empire, to keep that empire going for generations to come? So yeah, it's not pretty, and I'm still not at the point of just recovering everything and getting back everything that I want and achieving my dreams. Like we're still in that journey, we're still in the process, but I wouldn't trade it for nothing in the world. If I had to go back and do it all over again, I would.
Oh, love that story. Awesome. So when it comes to like your story, when you're speaking, who is your target audience?
That's a good question. It's us. It's our people. Although the work that I do, as far as preparing companies to be sold, I work with a certain level of companies. I'm only going to be working with companies that have 10 to 100 million in annual revenue. As we know, that knocks out a lot of our businesses. So my corporate work doesn't necessarily appeal to us at this time, but the purpose of it is to acquire all of the knowledge that I need to bring this information back to us. I need us to start thinking business on a high level. I need us to start building corporations. The reason that we are powerless in this world, it's not because we don't have money. So many of us are acquiring money now, right? We don't have the constructs needed to implement power into the world. A lot of power is filtered through large corporations. They have the structure to circulate resources. We don't have that, right? So many of us are getting into businesses, we're starting small businesses and they stay small and we never come together. We never say, let's take all of the small beauty brands that we have and put them all in the same room and let's create one Mac. That's the type of time I'm on. We do that through the process of mergers and acquisitions. We do these things through the process of private equity. So I want to teach us very, very high level business, financial, economic concepts because it is time for us to really create our own. Like I feel like for so long we've been sitting around waiting on them to give us the keys, for them to say, here is y'all freedom, here is y'all own economic system, here is y'all. It's never going to happen. We have to build that ourselves. That's going to start with us acquiring a certain type of knowledge, which is why I'm so big on sharing knowledge freely. If I just had the time, I would sit online all day long and just give out everything that I know because we have gotten this habit of we will acquire a certain level of knowledge and then we have
I love that. And when you say us, like, can you like? I'm a computer scientist, so
Mhm,
there's variables, and we've got to define what the variable is. What
mhm.
is when you say us and them? You don't got to say them, but who's us?
Us is this generation of Black people. This generation of Black people that now has the access to the tools, the resources, and knowledge that we need to turn this thing upside down. I don't believe that many generations before us have had the tools. They may have had the desire to do what we're doing. They didn't have the tools, they didn't have the access to knowledge, the resources. The door is wide open for us right now. We have to take advantage of this time.
Oh man, we could talk about it another day. There was a guy named Charlie Kirk, and it was he had someone on his team that was African American, black, and he was arguing with another black student, and it was talking about do we is America still fair? And they had two different perspectives of what fair is, because
Hmm.
in 2025 there's a lot of opportunities as you stated, but at the same time a lot of people didn't get started with the right foot. So when they was debating on the word fair, oh man, we could have this for a different day. I don't want to get too deep into debate on that one, but maybe it's a thought for another interview. But I'm loving what you're saying, especially teaching out. So do you think information should be given out for free? Is that what you said?
Yes, especially amongst your people. I highly doubt, and of course, I don't know this to be true, but I highly doubt that a Chinese person can go to another Chinese person and say, "You have a very successful nail salon. Can you teach me the game? Can you tell me how to get one started on my own?" And they're going to say, "Sure, if you buy my course." I just don't think that that's a thing amongst them.
Got you.
Now, I understand that we all are trying to make a living. I get it. But it doesn't require much work to for each one teach one. Just the same way that I can get online and make a post to tell people something that I know that they probably didn't know otherwise. It just it doesn't take anything from us to be able to share knowledge freely. You're not going to make less money because you are giving knowledge and giving game to your people. It doesn't work that way.
Love that. So yeah, we're pushing at that 30 minute. It's supposed to be a 15-minute interview, but honestly, it was getting so good that I was loving it. I was like, let me just see if I can push to 30 minutes. But I want to respect your time, and I kind of want to wrap this first one, and we can have if this goes well, and you like what's going on, we can do another one. I have the notes taking. I can review what we spoke about today and go in deeper conversations based off what we said today. But I
Mhm.
want to just give respect of your time here, and also yeah. So I think the other question is I have here is as we're wrapping it up here, what? There's two questions. There's two questions. I want to ask this one. What are the biggest challenges you're facing on? What are the biggest challenges you're facing on your journey right now?
Right now, is the concept of having to sit down and continuously sharpen my knowledge when I know that I could be out in the world making billions of dollars doing various other things, but to focus on the one main thing right now. Do you know how much every single day somebody is telling me, someone close to me that knows me well, that are saying, Brittany, there's no way that you're not a billionaire by now. You could be selling ebooks, you could be doing courses, you could be doing this, you could be doing that. And while all of those things are true, I have to focus on the main thing right now. And it does not matter how long it takes for that main thing to really materialize. I know that that's the thing that's going to create the foundation to changing all of this. And I think that that's something that a lot of people struggle with is like they want to get their hands in so many different things because we are short term minded. We're thinking, what is going to be the most beneficial thing to me right now? And the moment that I take my eye off the prize, this whole thing goes downhill. Like I have to stay focused and sit down and continue to build this thing out, no matter how long it takes, when I know that I could be doing other things that could be very profitable right now at this very moment.
And what is the main thing again?
The main thing is a much larger corporation. So, what I do with going into companies as a corporate advisor, this is something that I'm about to be doing independently, but it's really just setting the stage for me to build out a larger corporation around corporate strategy.
Got you.
I'm going to have a firm that is um, kind of a connecting point between like an investment bank. It's crazy because I know many people are not sure exactly what an investment bank does, but investment banks advise corporations on large transactions, capital raises, mergers and acquisitions, IPO and going public. And then also having a strategic side to that, where the company is advising these corporations on different strategic elements as far as international expansion, as far as merging, implementing new product lines and services, so many different things. But that one-stop shop that everything that a large corporation is going to need to get to the behemoth level.
Brittany, you just blew my mind. All right. So you said investment bank. I know
Yeah.
Wells Fargo. I know Fidelity. What is an
Mhm.
investment bank? I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, so
Are
when
examples of them?
okay, so how can I put this? When you think about a regular commercial bank, I think we all are familiar with commercial banks. This is, they take deposits, you do your regular checking and savings, right? Then you have like wealth management firms, which are your Fidelities, your Merrills, and they help high net worth individuals manage their wealth.
Got you. So is it kind of like now? Is it kind of like Edward Jones, where like the only way you can talk to an investment bank if you have like 1 million or $10 million, I guess, evaluation or net worth?
Yeah. So Edward Jones is a wealth management firm. So they work with individuals. But with investment banks, yes, you have ones that deal with different size companies. I know with mine, I'm going to work with much, much larger ones. So the smallest company that we'll have as a client will probably have like 100 million in annual revenue. I want to be that firm that gets a client right on the cuff of like going public, right on that bridge when you're looking to go public, when you're looking to expand in many different ways. So yeah, there are ones that work with several different size of businesses.
Got you. All right. And my last question here is: are you able to drop a gem on the spot, something that you've lately been thinking about to the people? As a clip or something. Where I'm just trying to, give us your best little, your best gem, your best. Dang, I cannot say that word. Your best gem that you can give us for today to help motivate us.
Oh, that's interesting. So many come to mind. But the most important one, and I wish that I can give you one that was more financially related, but this is the most important one to me, is that the Black Revolution does not begin with Black economics. It begins with us collectively.
There it is. That's what we needed here. Brittany, I appreciate you so much for doing this call with me. I'm going to pivot back around to the last thing is about me, what I could bring to you, hopefully, and where I'd like to see where our relationship can possibly grow and manifest and align towards. So yeah, again, thank you so much. So now pivot back to me. A little bit about me. Long story short, I went to North Carolina A&T. Computer. I have a master's degree in computer science and an undergrad in computer science, cybersecurity. I worked at Dell Technologies for 10 years. I got laid off during around COVID. So I was always in that mindset of like, with me, it was like, how do I get my first $100,000? Because when I was a kid, $100,000 was like $1 million. I was like,
Mhm.
I don't know nobody in our family who's getting 100,000. I thought that was the new bar that I needed set. Once I got to that realm, I was like, all right, I'm here, but I already knew it. Like the first day I was on the job, there was job layoffs. Like the first day, I
Wow.
was, I was like, oh, this $100,000 could go. So how do I maintain this stature and grow it to where I wanted to live a comfortable life? That's when I started getting deeper into making income outside of work. So that's where I got into the 401ks. I got into the running, leveraging your skills outside of the 9 to 5, aka freelancing and stuff like that, to make more
Mhm.
money. I got into forex a little bit, and I was lucky. I was one of the lucky ones. I made $30,000 my first year. Yeah, my first year trading, made $30,000. Put that and bought me a property.
Okay.
So I have 7 doors. rental properties, and I did enough to when the day came where I did got laid off. My income properties, it went from my income properties being my extra money to being my main source of income. And with that being said, I was quote unquote semi-retired, and by being semi-retired, I was enough to buy food, live, pay bills. I didn't have
Mhm.
enough money to actually get ahead. Like, if I want to go on a trip or something like that, I have to work for that. So that's why I talk about freelancing now, where, it's a little bit, you don't always have to be applying for jobs and stuff like that. And you can still make a really good living off of that. So that's kind of like where I'm at. Very passionate in freelancing and helping people understand there's more ways to make over $100,000, just not just 9 to 5. At the same time, building wealth. So they kind of go hand in hand. So building wealth, credit. So I just learned in my business for the longest, I was cash only. So when COVID hit, I had to take things off auto payment. And when I did
Yeah.
that, then I ran into some credit problems, right? With those credit problems, I went all cash. I was like, I don't need credit. I make a lot of money still, right?
Right.
Cash this. So like, but when a water heater busts and there's a heater busts, when the floors get messed up, a tenant destroy a property, whatever, that 6,000, that missing rent, all this money is coming cash out of my pocket straight to fix this
Mhm.
problem. And my brain is like, cool, it's going back to my investment property. At the end of the day, that's still $12,000 in that month just going straight to, an investment and kind of trying to recoup it. Then I started learning about working capital. So when I learned my problem was like, I may have a tenant that's gone for like 1 or 2 months. I just need to buy time until I get a tenant in and things are back in glory and going back in the direction I wanted. So now I'm back into the credit game. I'm like, oh, you get cash backs. I can add that into my high yield savings account. I can take this money and put it in my Roth IRA. Now I get the tax deductions and they grow interest. Like I'm thinking a whole different ballgame. So now I'm really big on credit. I'm big on freelancing. I'm big on entrepreneurship, and I'm also big on actually real estate as well. Real estate is. I mean, I see you have a house as well. When um when it came to real estate, I'm realizing how much you can leverage out of that and I'm starting to learn the rich get richer. So now I'm putting
Mhm.
my family on these programs where you put $25,000 in the bank account, they'll give you $1,000, like just for putting $25,000 in their bank account. Crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Back to my point. That was a little rant. I'm so sorry. I can rant all day. I do apologize for that. I saw your profile and I think I see you posting your stories, but
Mhm.
I was thinking like, are you really building a community? And I know you do it behind the scenes. You say you do it behind the scenes, but I saw your Instagram, I seen your LinkedIn, I seen your Facebook. And have you ever heard of a platform called School?
I have.
Got you. What are your thoughts on that?
So it's so funny that you mentioned this. I okay, one thing that you said that I did just want to clarify. I do not own any real estate as of yet.
Mm,
So that is that at some point I'm going to really, really get into. Now, back to the platform. I am currently, as we speak, right before we got on this call, building out content for an online community. I was thinking about using the Circle app. It was just the one that I found that I kind of dug deep into. School is probably a good one too. I really don't have much of a preference either way on the platform itself. But I'm creating this online community as a result of work that I was doing with the University of Chicago Hospital. So I was working with them as their like economic advisor. I was advising them on different things that they can do, whatever. They wanted to put something into place to really help the inner city of Chicago have access to resources around mental health, financial literacy, broader community resources that people may not know about, skill set development, all of the stuff that I'm very passionate about that I talk to. So I presented this idea to them of putting it all into an online community. And that is what I'm in the process of building out right now. So that is my latest work that will hopefully be launched and given to the world within the next 3 or so weeks, hopefully.
okay. Awesome. So I'm glad seeing that because I went to your Instagram. I see you not leveraging the call to actions. One thing about me is also my tech business. I run a tech business, Hill Tech Automate, and we
Mhm.
automate a lot of businesses processes. So it's from small to large scale. So like I don't. John Deere, pretty much, but it's like Kabuto. But like I work with all size companies, and we automate their business flows and to help things be a little bit more efficient. So, for example, if you post one time on Instagram, it goes against all platforms. I'm assuming, and I can assume, I don't know. Are you familiar with what a CRM is? You have
Yes.
to, yeah, you have to, especially what you
Yeah.
do. But like automated those things though, like what happened when 30 days happened. Like, there's automation flows that some people are aware of, some people are not. Some people just have
Mhm.
CRMs, but don't have the automation flows like, hey, it's the first of the quarter. Send out a friendly blast, everyone, just to let you know what's been going on, how to reach back out to people. Just automated those business flows. Even from your emails, honestly, I'm gonna give you one of my secrets today. I'm gonna drop this here. I've been working on. So I have when I watch YouTube videos,
Mhm.
I get the transcripts of the YouTube videos. So sometimes I can find a really good like it could be dang, I forgot everybody's name. Dang, what's his name? TD Jakes. It could be TD Jakes. It could be anybody. Any good
Yeah.
video. I copy and paste the URL. I text it to my business line. By that automation, it will get the transcript of that video. Use AI to create slides, and I'm able to. I already watched the video, so I know the talking points. I can break it. I can break it down to my people, so my family members. That's who I talk to, and the slides are already there, and the points or topics that I want to talk about are already in slide form, note taking
That's
form, and that's just me. I may be driving, I may be riding a bicycle. Oh, this is a good YouTube video. Copy the URL, text this number, and does all the rest for me, and I'm already set to go talk to my family. I do it every Sunday, so every Sunday at 4 p.m. I talk to my family about things I'm thinking on, things I'm working on. Those kind of automations is what I do, and I'm a software engineer, so that plus more. So you're trying to get to the AI, like leveraging AI. I have AI in my business, so I'm not sure if you do it or not, but I have a number in my real estate business where when properties get on the market, they're called like it's crazy, but they're calling my AI, and my AI is able to answer all the important questions that people need right then and there, and that helps me. I'm assuming you're familiar with a sales funnel is.
yes.
Oh, yeah, see, I know, but you're like over there. I'm over here. But like, I'm just now learning what a sales funnel is. Like when I used to have a property on the market, like I got 50 calls a day. I was like, I need to automate this, and I'm charging top tier market value. I'm charging over market value, so that's another thing I'm doing as well. But to do that, you need a big funnel,
Right.
and the AI is able to do way more than I can do, and to help me filter who the qualified leads are, and that's using AI. So like I can call people, people call me. Anything when you think of AI or tech, you got a website problem, you got any kind of technical problem, I'm your guy.
Yeah.
And I would like to help your platform grow. So if you're working on Circle, like I can work on Circle as well. If you want to automate some things, you want like, I can look at your current flow and maybe give you some suggestions. Like for example, you may know this. Again, I'm over here, you're over there. But like affiliate links. I just now learned about affiliate links. Uh-oh, are you still there? Uh-oh, I think you froze. Oh no. Okay. You're
Is it
back.
back now?
Yep, it's back. I just learned about affiliate links, right? So I was on the same mindset as what I didn't want to charge people for, like at the same time my time is valuable, which I gotta go.
Mhm.
Time is valuable, and at the same time, with the money, I have plans of how I want to do things, right? But there's ways to go about it where you can do affiliate links, right? So I'm pretty sure you're aware of affiliate using affiliate referrals
Yeah.
to do business. But that's a way you could get paid without necessarily charging people.
Hmm.
Stuff like that. Like I work with all kinds of clients. I'm not sure you're familiar with raffles. Anywho, there's a lot of business models I work with a lot of clients to help them make more money and save more time. And that's what I wanted to offer to you. So again, by doing this simple meeting right here, the way I got it recorded, post that on YouTube. I'm a photographer, I'm an editor, I'm a video editor, I'm a lot of things actually. But these are some things I think I can offer to you. At the same time, I would like to learn more about the things you do, just the way you talk, and be a mutual fruitful relationship where see yourself grow at the same time I'll grow as well, just by learning and just being in your presence, respectfully.
I love this.
yeah, so that's all I that's why I wanted to have this meeting today, and that's a little bit about me.
I love all of this, and I can tell that there is a lot of opportunity here between us because while I have so much knowledge that I wish to share to the world, I do not care much for social media or just all of that back end behind the scenes stuff, right? And I've been knowing for a while that it's gonna come a point in time where I'm gonna have to. I know that I will to get my message out to just larger groups of people. So yeah, I would love to explore this and see what it's like. I hate the fact that we didn't meet literally like a month or two ago. Um, where I was putting together for the university everything I was going to need to successfully have this community and everything because they were paying for it. Um, so it would have been great for us to meet like a month or two ago to include you into that. But yeah, I would love to see just kind of what we can do from here going forward. I'm glad we took this time to talk today. I was not expecting this at all. I would have looked like something like, why you didn't tell me in advance?
So my gift and my curse is that I'm really good at being on the spot and being spontaneous and adapting and thinking outside the box. So like I didn't think about creating this thing until like literally probably like 3 hours ago. And I YouTube like how do I set this up? So I'm learning this platform. I mean I'm tech savvy so I can get to it, but it was a last minute idea. But I'm
Yeah.
also a person of iterations. Hey, this is the first time. All right, you
Mm.
like the concept of it. Let's do it again another time. I'm gonna review
Yeah.
my notes. We got more topics, and we could get into deeper things to help get your voice out there and also hit a little bit more. I think some. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with SEO. I didn't do any
Yeah.
SEO in this interview, but let me start hitting some SEO topics, some people names we need to bring up just to align what you're already talking about, but also to hit the buzzwords to get new people to look into it. Like, all this type of stuff, I think on the fly, but we
Yeah.
can
I love
reiterate and
that.
do better.
Yes. Okay. I hate that I have another
Go.
call to
Yeah,
hop
we got to go.
on.
Yep. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Let's circle back for sure. Because everything that you're talking about is things that I'm really prioritizing right now. So yes, thank you again, and I'm looking forward to seeing how we can work together.
Likewise. Thank you again so much, Brittany.
All right, I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye.
Bye.